What's up? Good evening to all my one viewers so far. Hopefully people will join in or watch it later, as you get a lot of hits afterwards, after the show. A lot of people tune in. Hey, it's Monday, July 1st. July 1st, 2019. Couple more days, I'll have a birthday. I get my birthday coming up. And it's a very informal show tonight. It's going to be a Monday night, just me by myself. I got producer Jesse.
Hey.
Jesse's here with me, so he's going to have a microphone. And we're enjoying a Starbucks. Tonight's sponsored by Starbucks Frappuccino. You can get chilled coffee drinks only for 290 calories of pure goodness. It's actually pretty good. They have so many flavors, but
they're delicious. Really enjoying it.
So it's Monday. It's the 1st of July, and the weather has been crappy every day. We got through this big heat wave. That was pretty damn hot, I tell you. And then I heard we haven't been getting any rain because they were having these fucking sunglasses. They've been having this dust from the desert. You hear about that?
No.
Dust? They have some very big dust storms over in like Africa or something, and we've been the deserts over there, and they've been the sand's been coming here. I haven't noticed it, but apparently that's what's been going on with the weather. So tonight I'm standing up. I'm not going to sit down. I'm going to sit down a little bit, but I wanted to try standing up just to see. I don't have hemorrhoids or anything, but I just wanted to see how it is to stand up. And actually, it's pretty nice, man. I get to move around. I'm not so stationary. Maybe I won't knock over this soundproofing thing on the wall. But so the weekend, Jess, how was your weekend?
Uneventful.
Did you do any shows?
I relaxed.
Events?
I relaxed.
Didn't we meet for lunch? What day was that?
Oh, that was Thursday.
Holy shit. Today's Monday, right?
Yeah.
So that was Thursday. The hell did I do Friday? I don't even think I did anything really much this weekend. I don't think I did too much.
From what I gathered, it wasn't a very a busy weekend. I mean, I know there were some events, but me and the wife just chose to stay indoors. It seemed like the weather was always threatening all weekend.
Yeah. I did some stuff around the house. I think I really had an eventless weekend. I think I was looking online at a lot of cars. I mean, I know I've been talking to Jesse a lot, and some people that know me personally, they know that I've been car hunting and been car shopping, and I was out in Orlando today and battling back and forth with a dealer out in Orlando, and I think we're going to strike a deal. Here's the thing, Jess. When you ask people to help you with some stuff,
right,
and they just drag their feet, and it's like really, I'm asking like some guys that I know that are brokers, or they go in auctions and they buy cars and stuff, and I ask them, I say, hey man, this is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for this kind of car.
Right.
I tell them, white or black, a black interior, okay, and then I want a certain kind of rim. I mean, that's what I want, right? Am I wrong? I don't know.
No.
I shouldn't have to accept something I don't want. I mean, if I'm paying for it.
As long as it exists, you're not asking for a fantasy.
Yeah. So, I'm kind of torn. I was going with an SUV, and I was going with a sedan, and going SUV, going with a sedan. So today, I went out to Orlando, and I brought my buddy with me, my buddy Jerome. He's an older guy, and he don't care. He don't give a shit. He owns like 4 Mercedes, and he buys whatever he wants. And
Nice.
He tells me, if I want something, I'm going to buy it. And that's the truth. If you want something in your life, fucking buy it. Because you know what? Like he said, I can't take the money with me.
Right.
I mean, if you can afford to buy it, don't put yourself in a bad predicament when it comes to, paying your bills. But if you can afford to do something, like I retired, I haven't bought myself shit. I went on a few trips.
Right.
But I've been saying I want to buy myself something. So I've been looking at this Mercedes, and I remember I bought one, and then I found out that there were some issues with it. So I never actually I bought it, never took delivery of it, so I was able to refund it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm back on the market again, and it's like anything. That's why with car dealerships, when you go into a car dealership, and I'm sure you know this, hopefully, they don't want you to leave. They basically hold you hostage.
Right.
Okay. When I first moved up in this county, it was in 2003. I was transitioning jobs, and I had some time of a lull. So I said, I got to do something. I want to do something at least while I'm bored. So I worked for Mercedes-Benz. I went in, I was a salesman.
Really?
You didn't know this, did you?
No.
Yeah, I signed up over here. They hire anybody. I'll tell you that right now because they don't fucking pay you. If you don't sell, you don't get paid. Or what they do is no. In the car sales world, if you don't make a certain amount of money, they will give you a draw.
Right.
So they'll pay you, and then when you get sales, before they pay you, they take it back.
Of course.
So they could give you $600 in a draw, and then you sell $1,200 after you go, oh shit, finally I got some car sales.
Right.
So now I made $1,200. Well, then you're $600 because they've taken $600 out of it.
Exactly.
It's a revolving door, so you got to hustle. They don't want you to sit around. They want you to cold call, and we all know, man. Salesmen are salesmen. I don't care. There's salesmen, and then there's car salesmen.
Right.
Furniture salesmen, different, right?
Yeah.
Funeral salesmen, they sell caskets, and they're different. But car salesmen, they're in a different breed.
For sure.
And I was always told if their lips are moving, they're lying. So I actually worked there, and so I kind of know a little bit about the dealership. And then when they tell you, we're going to sell you a car, but we're not making any money. Do you believe that?
Never.
Yeah, that's like Vegas always says, oh, if Vegas lost, they wouldn't be so elaborate. Their casinos wouldn't be so elaborate and everything else because they win. Car dealerships are not going to lose money. I don't know if they even say they're going to lose money or they're selling it at cost. They're making money somewhere, and I think they make it through. Sometimes they make it through the unit. They might not make much money on the car, but the dealership makes unit sales. So if they sell new cars, and they sell, say, a new car, and even though they make it, if the dealership sells so many units, they get a kickback from,
the manufacturer.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's all kinds of incentives.
Yeah,
I don't believe for
you ever
one.
heard of trunk money? Whatever the hell trunk money is, trunk money. That's like hidden money that nobody knows. They call it trunk money.
Well, you know more about it than I do.
Yeah.
But certainly anybody who's anybody is not selling to lose money.
Right, because when I had that one Mercedes that I originally bought, now this is what pisses me off. Don't bullshit me, man. The guy tells me, he shows me, he's the finance manager. He brings me around the counter, and he says, hey, what is this? He says, hey, we're losing $10,000 on this deal.
They wouldn't do it.
That's a fucking insult.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's an insult. So I kind of don't believe half these guys. So today I was out in Orlando, and I'm dealing with this dealership, and I'm not buying a brand new car. I'm not buying brand new shit anymore. So I want the car at the value that it's worth,
Right.
So it's depreciated. So I go out there. One thing, first impressions are everything. The car wasn't even like cleaned. It was because the owner of the dealership is driving it. I said,
that's pretty bad.
well, what the fuck? I said, come on, guy. So we're down. We negotiated. I mean, they were quick. I was there at 9:20, and I was back home at 11:20. When you deal with a private auto import guy,
Right.
you don't have to deal with all the monkeys that are in there trying to hold you. Because what I was getting at when I said I worked at the dealership and they don't want to let you go, they used to do this shit. So you get these customers come in and they want to buy a $100,000 car, and they're not stupid. So you tell them as a salesman, hey, I need you to sign here, and they make an offer, and then you say, okay, because we want to make sure you're serious, we need to see a credit card. We need to hold a credit card, and then they hold your car keys. So they're like, okay, well, why do you got to have my credit card? Well, they want to know you're a serious buyer. They go, and some of them are just gullible. They say, okay. And then when the deal doesn't, they come back with another offer. It's back and forth, and that's what people hate. So they don't want you to leave the dealership. These guys are like wrestling you to keep you there, and they keep your car keys, and to where these people are getting pissed. Hey, I want my car keys. I want out of here. So I don't know if they still do those tactics, but they do definitely want to. They call it a TO. You TO it to the manager. It's a turned over. So if you can't close a deal, they want the manager to come out.
Of course.
And they hey, what is it that I can do to make you buy the car? And it's like, sell it at that price.
Right.
So, anyways, I was over here at this dealership today, and we're $500 away from making a deal. $500.
When you told me that, I can't believe somebody
$500
would not take a $500.
Yeah,
loss.
but I tell you, I really like the car, and and then when the guy says, I said, hey, I'll tell you this. You tell the owner this. You tell the owner that if he doesn't want to come off any more than what he did, then tell him to stop driving the goddamn car around and leave it on the lot and leave it cleaned like it was on the showroom. Because when I saw the car in the picture in the showroom,
I saw those pictures.
it was It was immaculate. It was showroom condition.
Yeah,
well, he'd been driving it around because he likes the car. So he's fond of the car, and he doesn't want to let it go. Now, the guy, I said, tell the owner he's got like 200 cars. He's got Ferraris, Lamborghinis. He's got Maseratis. He's got BMW. He's got everything. He's got everything on his lot. And he picks that one. It's the only S-Class he's got. Mm-hmm. So, and also, when I was getting at before, that people you ask to have them help you, and it's been dragging on.
Right.
Nobody wants to go out of their way. They're not focusing on my needs. They're just going out. And then I got one guy who's sending me a couple cars over the online, but they're completely different from what I want. And he knows what I want. Mm. I want a white or black with black interior. He's sending me a white with tan interior, a black with white interior, like white. I was like,
yeah, they're not listening.
I appreciate it, but it's just not going to happen.
Right.
So I was pondering, and I'm going, you know what? I'm so sick of waiting for the right deal. So for those of you who are out there waiting for the right deal, it's never going to happen. You're going to have to, and I understand dealerships got to make money.
Right.
You know what I mean? They got to make money. Unless I find a private owner who I can beat up. But if I agree, which I did, I come up $500. I came up to $500. I called the guy. You heard me. I called him just now, and I told him, I want the goddamn car clean. If it's not clean when I get there, I'm leaving. I ain't buying shit. I'll kick myself in the ass, but, I just, I'm tired of waiting on people to try to help me out in buying a car. So I'm doing it my own. It might cost me a little bit, maybe if I were to buy it through an auction, I'd probably save about $3,500.
Yeah.
But then I got to find somebody to get to. I got to find somebody. It's a crock of shit.
But, in the auctions, there's no service after the sale. At least if you go to a dealership, typically you can bring it back. Maybe they'll throw in, some car washes or tire rotation, oil changes. Mm-hmm. So there's a little bit of service after the sale.
So I kind of all right. So I stopped at I deal with the credit union and I deal with Chase Bank. So I stopped at the credit union, and I'll tell you what. Any kind of extended warranty, anybody out there that's looking for an extended, where their car's running out of warranty, the credit unions will kick their asses. I'm telling you right now. I'm getting a 4-year, 48,000-mile warranty from the credit union for this car. It's the gold. They have silver, gold, and platinum. Gold is in the middle. Because they always say, hey, give me the middle of the road. And that takes care of AC, seats, electrical, everything. I mean, pretty much everything.
Right.
AC, engine, transmission, $1,800
for the term or
the
a
gold.
Year?
No, for the whole term.
Wow.
Then, if I want the platinum, which is everything that the gold and silver have, and then more, a little bit more.
Well, they probably advise that for a luxurious car like you're getting.
So it's $22. So for $500 more, you get, the shit banging caboodle. You get everything. So I'm probably going to do that. And I got my rate through the credit union, and I might, I'm either going to pay for it all at once or finance it. But like I said, if you want something, you can still get it with no money, or you can put money down. So I'd rather have my money work for me, because if shit hits the fan and I need to get some money, I'm looking at a car that I just dumped, $50,000 in.
Or you're going to be car rich and cash poor. You always want to have more cash.
Cash is king. You want to keep the cash.
Because if something comes along and you need that cash for an emergency or anything else.
Right.
And you're right.
And I can always dump the car. I dump the car.
Exactly.
Sell the car. I might lose a little bit of money. I probably will, because we all know, even when you buy it brand new and the depreciation sets in, I think it takes like 2 years for it. I don't know. I think if you buy a car and keep it for, if you take it right off the lot and leave, you'll probably lose 10%, 5%.
5% off the lot is what they say.
Right off the lot. And then the longer you wait, it goes down and down. So, don't tell me also that, like, this car, it sells new for $115,000. I don't care what it sells for new. It ain't new. Am I right? It's not. No matter what. And the problem also with private buyers is everything that they have is they think it's worth millions.
Right.
You know what I mean? The guys who buy a 67 Chevy and they dump, $80,000 in it. It's a 67 Chevy.
Yeah, brand new is $2,100.
Yeah.
Now you're trying to get $25,000 just because of its
nostalgia. It's personal to them, so they're not going to let shit go for They're going to go, nope, it's worth $50,000. It's not worth $50,000. But I put $10,000 in. I put tires. Okay, who gives a shit?
Right.
Okay, you can polish a fucking turd as much as you want. It's still a turd.
Right.
So whatever they want to do is do. But so I'm going to probably go back there tomorrow and I'm gonna pull the trigger because honestly, Jesse, I've been dragging this out for a freaking year just about.
Well, I remember.
And everybody's sick and tired of hearing me. My brother, if I'm out, he's going, "You looking at goddamn cars again? You looking at cars? You want an SUV? You want an Escalade? You want this? You want?" And I honestly am so fickle, and I listen to people's opinions when I should just do what I want, because people can sway me very easy when it comes to buying something.
Well, especially when you ask people you trust.
Well, yeah, because, my brother tells me at one point, get a Toyota Camry. I'm like,
oh, jeez.
I'm not getting a damn Camry. So I'm treating myself for all the years that I worked and I retired. And I'm not going to do something that I can't afford. And if it happens to where down the road, I want to get rid of it, but I'm not going to I can pay it off. So, and plus, I got to give my son a car. So he's going to get my car. It's a 2018. But everybody's going, oh, geez, well, it's cheaper than buying another car. I just give him that one.
Yeah.
I mean, why would I buy a third car and then me keep that? I want a car for me. So it just so happens I have a car. And the Honda I have is a lease. So he'll drive that, which he don't go anywhere. He goes to school, and he'll use the golf cart going to school. So my car woes hopefully will be over tomorrow, and this car is absolutely amazing. It's so pretty. It's such a beautiful car. It's got everything I want, but the rear reclining seats. I wanted the rear recliner. So and my buddy's like, dude,
you're not going to sit back there.
How long are you going to be sitting in the back seat? I'm like, I guess never. I mean, unless I'm passed out. But it's just a feature that I wanted. It adds because when you have the rear reclining seats, it does take some of your trunk space out.
Right.
Because it indents back there because they recline. And there's a little bit more of an LED light because this car has like 300 LED trims all around.
Oh, yeah. Beautiful.
If you ever seen one of those Mercedes, they are phenomenal. It's like an amazing light show in the car. It's so romantic, But it adds a little bit more flair.
A lot of flair.
Yeah. But
more things to break, too.
Yeah, exactly. That's what my buddy said. Yeah. More shit to worry about breaking. Right. So the more tricks and stuff, the more worries you got.
Right.
All these cars with these fancy things. So I think tomorrow, Jess, cheers. I think I might.
Happy birthday. What a nice present.
That's right. My birthday's Wednesday, so I think I'm going to treat myself to a car. And then I'm going to probably throw it into a little business. Everybody's saying you're going to get more out of an SUV. But, I'll still be able to move people. I'll still be able to take somebody to an airport or to a cruise ship, couples out.
Yeah, you may not be able to take the family of 6, but
no, and I don't want to take a family of 6. I don't want to. I buy a bus. If that was the case, if I wanted to do that, I'd buy a shuttle bus.
Exactly.
So we'll see how this gets started. I'm gonna, once I get my wheels turning here, I'm gonna start advertising, and I'll announce the launch of my, I guess you would say private vehicle to hire.
Yeah.
I'll beat everybody's rates because this is be like a hobby. So, but I can't be so lucky like some guy in Leesburg, fucking guy in Leesburg scratched off. I mean, who buys scratch-off tickets? We all do, some of us. But he buys at $30. I can't fathom buying a $30 scratch-off.
I can't imagine scratching $30. I mean, $30. I can't.
That's like gone.
I can't bring myself to do it.
You're quicker getting a lap dance. I mean, it's the same kind of. At least you'll get a little bit of friction on a lap dance for $30. But this guy in Leesburg scratched a lottery ticket and won $15 million on a freaking scratch off. He took the payout for $11 million all day long. I don't know who would ever take the payments on that because, like I said, what can you do with 15 that you can't do with 11, or what can't you do with 11 that you can do with 15?
Exactly.
I mean, I'd take the $11 million in a heartbeat. $11 million on a fucking $30 scratch off.
What a great day.
Well, see, what I try to do is when I do scratch offs, I look up online the prizes are available still.
Right.
So not that I have a chance to win one of those fucking things, but it at least gives you more of a hope to say, okay, there's still X amount of 10,000, there's still an X amount of 500,000. So there's a hope, and then you could see some of them that've been out for a while, and all the big prizes are gone.
Right.
So there's a friend of mine who scratched off. She's on my Facebook. She scratched off. She bought a $20 one, and she won like 500.
That's a good payday.
I mean, it's amazing when you start scratching it and you win one. Like, it's all those numbers,
Right.
This was the Gold Rush or something like that. She scratched off one because she took a picture of it and put it on Facebook. It was scratch, win, scratch, win, scratch, win. So I'm like, holy shit. It was just going and going and going. When you got that, you're going to hit big. So I just can't be so lucky to do a scratch off. So
yeah, I'm chicken shit. I just get the dollar. I'd rather get $31 than $130.
Well, I did the $5 ones, and I'll buy $60 worth. My brother-in-law did that. He taught me that. Or he'll get $40 worth of $5.
Okay.
And he usually wins. I mean, he usually hits on those. But, they always say, people go, oh, 1 out of 3, right? But it's 1 out of 3. It's not like if you buy 4,
right?
One of those tickets is a guaranteed winner. It's 1 out of 3 of the whole fucking
of the roll
of everything. Yeah,
right.
I mean, it's like 1 out of 3 win. But I was in the belief of that. I believe that at one time.
Well, and a win is what? A free ticket sometimes, $2, so you double your money.
Yeah, I mean, and then you dump it right back if you win a little bit. So
exactly.
So, yeah, so that's kind of a
well, lucky for him. That's a lot of S-Class
million
Mercedes.
Freaking dollars, man. What would you do with $11 million
today?
If you got $11 million,
get a chateau in St. Moritz and a lake house in Italy on Lake Como, and get a boat and probably put the rest into offshore accounts.
Yeah, I'll tell you right now. These other people that go, oh, if I win, nothing's gonna change. I'm going to go into hiding, and fuck that. I'm fucking going to rent the limo, and I'm going to have the media follow me all the way up there.
I already have a wish list.
Dude, I'm telling you right now, I'm flashy and loud.
Yeah.
I'll be like, you damn right I won, and I'm going to be spending it. Well, I'm not going to be blowing it, but I would definitely.
I would probably start with getting all my buddies on a big cruise ship. And just doing just going ham, just going,
Fuck the cruise ship. I'd rent a private yacht.
Yeah, I have more friends than a private yacht, though.
I mean, $11 million. I'd
want to bring like 200 family, friends, people,
I mean, you jump right into $11 million. That's a lot more, because I always go on these celebrity net worths and I look at these people. Some of them, they're 10 million, 20 million. But if you're just jumped in $11 million, man, I think you can interest alone. I think you'll be set for every year. I mean, I don't know what kind of interest you'll make, what kind of payments you'll make every year on $11 million.
Well, it depends on which
over
bank.
$100,000.
Yeah,
a year.
I mean, if you're doing 1% of 10 million, you're making 1 million, on interest. I'm sorry, you're making 100,000. And that's a pretty good salary every year. And you're not touching your original investment. So blow the 1 million, get the sports car you want, take a bunch of friends on a holiday, and then put the rest into.
What car would you buy? Would you buy a car? What would be your first car purchase? I'll tell you, I wouldn't buy like a Ferrari. I don't get it. I would probably buy like a.
You know what? There's
probably a new Mercedes or something like that.
There's those beautiful custom off-road build kits. I want something completely unique, so I would get like a big old 250 on big old
F-250 truck.
Yeah, something big,
Man, I ain't no
lifted.
redneck, man. Nah.
Oh yeah.
No, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do a truck.
Yeah, supercharge it. Just something ridiculous, something fun and fast, and I could go wherever I want.
Wow. So that's the first. Man, we're already through half the show. So I'm going to take a few minute break. I'm going to catch up on some of the comments because I can't see sometimes without my glasses off. But I'm going to catch up on some of the comments, and I'll talk to you guys here in a second. Join me back. We'll just be gone for just a couple minutes. Vinnie Marino Podcast.
Steven,
Why, yes, Christopher.
what are you doing?
I am scribing down some ideas for the next podcast of the Black Dog Confessional.
Oh, Mitzi had spoke of that. She said it is rather wonderful.
Well, we try to succeed, Christopher. We try to succeed. We're talking about all the proper etiquette techniques that we can this week.
Do you think everyone is listening?
I definitely believe so, Christopher.
Well, if they're not, they better get on their game!
Hey, make sure you check out Space Cowboy Justice with your hosts, Blake Stewart and Paul Daly. We're going to be talking about interesting legal issues in the entertainment industry and everything geek. If you're into Star Wars, Star Trek, Lord of the Rings, comic books, we're talking about it. Coming at you from the Space Coast Podcast Studios.
You're listening to Space Coast Podcast, home of the greatest podcasts on the Space Coast. If you're interested in becoming a sponsor or having your own show, email us at spacecoastpodcast@hotmail.com.
Space Coast Podcast.
Talk hard!
Hey, I want to say hi to Jim. Jim's on here live. Appreciate you guys on a busy Monday night at 7:30. You're probably kicking back. It's time for Wheel of Fortune at 7:30. Brandon, my man, if you're still on, hey, buddy. AJ, yeah, I sent you a text, but I got you. Yeah, I'm sorry you missed out, man. I still representing, dog. And Jim, if you're on, yeah, I'm looking at I'm actually going to get a Mercedes S550. Beautiful freaking car, man. I'll tell you, it's jaw-dropping, man. I mean, I dream about the thing, man. But so thank you guys that are on listening. I appreciate you, and those that are to come. So Jess, did you?
Yeah.
I was reading this crazy story, man. This sad kind of story. This girl, and her family were snorkeling in it's called Rose Island, off the Bahamas.
Never heard of it.
Looks like maybe about 70, 80 miles off Bahamas, Nassau.
Okay.
Nassau. And she was snorkeling with her. She was a college girl, 21-year-old college student. And her mom and her were snorkeling in the water.
Right.
And apparently the dad saw these sharks lurking close.
Okay.
So dad was yelling, "Hey, get out of the water." I guess the mom heard, but the daughter didn't hear. And unprovoked, I mean, they attacked this girl, this poor girl, and she ended up dying. I mean, they just, all three of them. I can't imagine what would provoke those sharks to do that, but I don't know. I mean, everybody says, well, we're in their waters, and that's fine, but it's. I think they identify that or things in the water as to be something else. I mean, their instincts are, I don't think they go, oh, that's a human. They just see the description, because when I dove down in Palm Beach and we were down, we seen sharks quite a bit. You know,
Right.
I didn't know what kind they were. I think black tips, or I don't know what it was, but I got scared. But I think when you're down that deep, when you're down below water, I think you're all equal. I don't know if they would really mess with you. I was more afraid of the barracuda than I was the shark.
Yeah, those are aggressive.
Yeah, she ended up dying. She lost a lot of blood. It was terrible.
Yeah, when you were away in those remote islands, I mean, even just a small bite without care and attention, can result in loss of blood. And
I mean, God, you look at these alligators too, man. These damn alligators, bro. Their teeth look dull. You know, they look
it's
dull.
not the teeth that will kill you. They're not there to bite you. They're there to hold you and then drag you in the water.
But what
and
I'm
drown
saying
you.
is they'll amputate you.
Oh yeah,
Man,
I mean,
yeah.
the jaws are super strong, and yeah, they could rip a limb right off of you.
Yeah,
But their main defense is to drown you, to bring you underwater and spin you around and but yes, they're not in the business of just taking bites out of you.
yeah. So that was that was like last week or something.
That is sad. We don't want to see anybody on a family vacation.
No, it's terrible.
and it's traumatizing for everybody involved.
It's really, really sad, and it makes you think about when you're in the water.
Because you know what, there's a lot of guided shark, like you can swim with sharks, sea rays. There's all kinds of guided excursions, but normally they put you with a lemon shark or a nurse shark. You know, these are more bottom feeders. They're much less aggressive. The mouths aren't that big. But, you know, also in the Bahamas, you have tiger sharks. You know, you have, big man-eating species who, they can swallow you whole. You know, so you really got to be, if you're not with a guide and you're just out there trying to navigate the waters and just go, oh, this looks great. You know,
a friend of mine goes, well, somebody must have been feeding them. But I don't. It's not like they're not afraid of you because you feed a shark. I think they're. I just think I don't know, maybe I don't know if she was wearing anything shiny, but people said, oh, they don't look for shiny things, they kind of.
Well, yeah, I've heard shiny things attract them, shadows, and if it was murky, sometimes they can't distinguish between you and which would maybe food. If you're panicking and making a bunch of commotion, they may interpret that as a big animal in distress, and that's a mealtime for them.
Right. Yeah, that's kind of weird. And
Yeah, man, that's bad news.
I wasn't on. I don't even know if we discussed it, but these crazy Democratic candidates for 2020. Which I think debates. People were like posting on their Facebook saying, "I hope I don't offend anybody by saying this, but I don't think it's right that the Dems, if they they want to say everything, what they say is all, you can't verify anything. They're going to follow through with anything.
No, it's empty promises.
But they want to they all raised their hand 100% unequivocally that they want to provide free health care to documented illegal immigrants.
Undocumented.
Undocumented illegal immigrants. And I'm like, okay.
Me first.
Because
I'm the taxpayer. Where's my health care?
Our health care sucks. I mean, honestly, your premiums are high.
Yeah.
Your co-pays go forever. And I tell you what, we all know if you've ever been in a hospital, okay, you go to the emergency room or you're incapacitated of some sort or you get a surgery in the hospital. Something happens in the hospital. You got bills from people you've never seen. It's like a doctor walks in, looks at you while you're sleeping, they send you a bill.
Right.
No shit.
Right.
You're getting bills for everything, and you have no way to dispute it. I mean, who is this? Who is that? And it just goes on and on and on. The bills just keep coming, man. Yeah. I don't, and then you got people who don't want to pay insurance or who'll get free insurance, and just fly right through. I cannot believe that this country would offer that before they would offer our own people.
Right.
And then, that crazy Bernie wants to dissolve, people's college tuitions. How the hell is he going to do? How's he going to have free college? Who's going to pay for all that?
Yeah, I don't think the banks would like to just forgive $1 trillion in owed money. And I know the government can't afford $1 trillion to pay for it, so I'm not sure.
I don't know where they plan on getting this money from.
It's pipe dreams. It's
They're
empty promises.
They're going to put us right back where we were with Obama. It's just I don't get it where they plan on getting this money from.
Well, not only that, but listen to the crowd that they're catering to. They're not catering to normal, hardworking Americans. Mm-hmm. They're catering to illegals. They're catering to a very small portion of our population. Like they're getting it's so identity politics that they're catering to like the 0.01% of the population.
Yeah, yeah.
Who cares about the the one transgender Asian who's got tuition or whatever. We're like, what about a more broad audience instead of just trying to pinpoint these very very.
First of all, they can't vote for him.
Yeah,
and then who in their right mind? These people are like these so far left, these snowflakes. They would say yes. This is not what we stand for. We stand for open borders. We stand for we let everybody. I mean, I don't get what the fuck is until they become a victim of something or suffer some kind of something from healthcare. They don't care.
Well, that's their platform is victimhood.
Yeah. Oh my God, man.
You can't give stuff away, and you can't make people's lives better if they're already. I don't want to say entitled, but if they're already doing the best that they can, if they're already successful,
yeah.
And instead of empowering these people, you want to exploit the victimhood. Tell them to report because of it's somebody else to blame. You don't have health care because it's somebody else to blame. And what you're doing is you marginalize the rest of the population. You focus on this very small group of our the citizen base and your voter base, and you're supposed to. And that's supposed to be a general appeal to you and your platform.
Right.
Where they're not talking about me. They're not talking about working guys. They're not talking about retired law enforcement. They're not talking about actual citizens. They're talking about very small groups of the population.
And usually they serve no purpose, but some of them, oh well. But did you
Well, I can't wait to see what some more because I think it's just a charade after those first two debates.
They weren't even debates. They were just like it was just like an introduction.
Right. I think as far as what all the pundits have said is Trump's road to 2020 just got a lot easier.
And you know what aggravates me, even with the Republican side, and we all know,
right?
If they tell you have 60 seconds, they won't shut up, and they keep interjecting, they keep going, and then they just did it last week. They said one answer, one answer, right. Yes or no. and they could not even say yes or no. It was like pulling teeth from me. Oh, I can't say yes or no. They just had to go on with this big goddamn excuse and an elaboration of what, why. I'm like, come on, man.
We don't want to know why. You know, there's 10 of you on the stage. We're trying to get through a lot of topics in a short amount of time. Anyway, I don't think there was any one standout.
No,
not even the favorites.
And then I seen how they definitely let certain candidates go farther than the ones that they didn't really know or had no chance. They would shut them up, and they're like, and then Joe Biden would say he would go on and on. They wouldn't even interject him. They just let him keep going. So they know. Again, we're I keep scrolling stuff and we've had some more attacks on law enforcement. Did you see the guy that it was a deputy or officer stopped a truck driver? I'm trying to find out where that was at. What state?
The body cam footage.
Yeah, what state was that in? That was in North Carolina. This officer, polite to the guy. The guy, I guess, drove his tractor trailer and destroyed some stuff. So he wrote him a ticket, and he was giving him a citation for criminal mischief. The guy had to go to court. Okay, he's telling the guy, "Hey, do you have last 4 of your social?" For whatever reason, their agency asked that to put on a citation. Whatever he says, I don't know it. So you see, if you watch the video, and it's on Facebook, you see it going south right away.
Right.
The guy's still sitting in the truck. He's raised. He's sitting higher than the cop. The cop asked him for that. He was argumentative. Nope, I ain't got it. He goes, you don't know it or you don't have it? He goes, no, I ain't got it. And he says, do you have, he asked for some other thing. And he said, oh, you're going to have to sign here for your court date. It's not saying you're guilty. It's just saying you're accepting the citation. You're going to take care of it. Guy says, nope. And then all of a sudden the guy just grabbed a screwdriver and stabbed jumped off the truck and stabbed the cop in the neck with a screwdriver. Unprovoked.
Right.
This is how fast shit happens. And thank God the cop was able to, get a gun out and shoot the guy. I was like, yes. And I think the guy died. Yeah, well, he died.
Okay.
Yep, he died. And then there was that one in Seminole County that was talking. He was doing a traffic stop on a guy, and I guess he was telling the guy to turn the car off or whatever, and that went south. And then the guy drove off, and the cop was still hanging on the side of the car. And then he stopped. The cop pulled his gun out, had his gun right in his face, and said, hey, let me see your hands. And then the guy grabbed the cop or tried to grab the gun and drove off with the cop hanging on.
Oh, my goodness.
He went like 100 yards. It was flying, getting ready to get on I-4. And then as you merge, you got to make that turn to get on I-4. He freaking went flying off the side, man. And I'm like,
oh, God.
What the fuck is wrong with people? I would never.
Right.
Okay. I would never, and I've never would put myself in a position in front of a car.
Right.
Okay. I wouldn't do it. It's just kind of, some people do. I don't. I've never done it. And I wouldn't put myself in a position where I can be lassoed onto a car. Unless they're hanging on to you, yeah. But I wouldn't put myself, I think the guy in Seminole was standing on the what do they call that thing? The foot rail, the running board. Okay. He was standing on the running board. I'm like, I don't know at what point, but I wouldn't try to put myself in that position. But he grabbed him. I think he was trying to he held on to the guy. I don't know why. That was crazy. That was crazy. He sustained some injuries, but he'll be fine. And they did catch the guy.
Sounds like a rookie mistake.
Not necessarily.
No.
Some cops are really aggressive, man. Sometimes they reach in the car to try to get the keys out of the car, and the guy drives off, and you're half in and half out, and it's just.
Well, that's a really risky behavior. If you're going to try to reach in a cab and people can roll up their windows on you or grab onto you or do a number of things now that a portion of your body is inside with them.
I'm going to sit down. I'm going to sit my ass down right now. Here we go.
There you go.
Okay, now I'm back. Hey, here I am. So guess July 1st is today, and it starts out with some new laws that are coming out.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm excited.
One of them is vaping in the workplace. They don't want you vaping in the workplace.
Oh, man, that's going to piss off a lot of people.
Dude, there's some vapes that are just mild.
Right.
And then there's that ridiculous vapes that are blowing like fucking like an engine of a steam train.
Yeah.
What the hell is that, dude? That is the most ridiculous. And kids love it. That's why.
It's a big cloud.
Kids are attracted by that big illumination. It's cool. And it's flavored and everything. I'm telling you, dude, you see the smoke that comes out of those?
Yeah, and I can't imagine that being too healthy.
Damn, they blow that out, and that was all the way in their body.
Yeah.
We all have seen these vapes.
Yeah, you're filling your lungs to the capacity.
Oh my God, it's like And you got one.
Yeah.
You got a little vapey, but that's not ridiculous. But some of them blow. I'm like, you could see them like when they're in the car, and it's like, holy shit, the car's on fire. Oh, they're vaping. You know, it's like, son of a bitch, man.
Yeah, some of these guys they drive. Or I see them at a stoplight. They roll down. It's like a choo-choo.
Come on, man. That's going to be my
It's
saying.
a little
Come on,
tacky.
man.
That's a little tacky.
That is a bullshit, man.
But what's the alternative? These people,
What's the alternative?
They're looking for a nicotine fix. You don't want them going outside and having a tobacco break. So this is
they
the
have
alternative.
smokeless ones? Like they don't have to have all that smoke.
I mean,
That's getting a little bit out of control.
There's a patch. Yeah, well, again, not everybody has these big cloud maker, vapes.
Well, yeah, they have the little pen ones. They don't blow much smoke. I've seen those.
Yeah, the Juuls.
The Juul,
Right.
yeah. That was a good one.
Yeah. Man.
And then also the texting while driving is starting today.
I just really hope that helps. I hope it really discourages some people.
From what I hear, Jess, and sometimes I read some legal bullshit.
Right.
And I think coming out of Tampa, there's some legal mumbo jumbo because it's specifically saying texting while driving. But we all know that these smartphones are used for other things. Mapping, there's GPS, there's email.
Right.
You can work your whole work assignment on it. So I believe that they have to be able to confirm that you were texting, because you could say I wasn't texting, I was looking at my GPS. So I think there's some argument now going with this ban in texting and driving, because you got to prove they were texting, because I didn't read the actual law, but it says you can't be texting.
Yeah, texting is only a part of it. It's just getting your eyes off the road. So I think it should be more generalized. Whereas you get pulled over for distracted driving, and that could constitute for anything. If you're looking down, whether it's at a phone or you're trying to eat or you're trying to do anything but driving. Can we just focus on driving?
Yep. Going back to this guy, I just caught up with this the one that was dragged by the cop.
Right.
He gets no bond. Great.
Of course not.
But I think this guy. This guy had 15 felony convictions and eight misdemeanor convictions. Let's talk about that for a second. Okay. What is wrong with our legislation? Whoa, my share is shrinking down. What is wrong? I mean, how is this? Build more jails. I mean, honestly, fuck the wall. Build more jails. I mean, I like the wall. I'm not against it, but we need to build more jails, because if we don't have enough jails to keep these people, and they got to keep letting them out. Build more jails.
Yeah. Or just
hire more corrections officers to staff these jails, because all these clowns are going to do, they're career criminals. Yeah. They know, and it gets worse. And now he basically almost got a murder charge.
Yeah. After 4 felonies, I don't think there's an amount of parole. I don't think there's an amount of time served that can justify a repeat offender, even if it's going, you're in and you're out of the system. And if you're just doing a petty misdemeanor like larceny, maybe not grand larceny, maybe not, grand auto theft or anything else, but, let's talk
Grand
about
Theft Auto.
Grand Theft Auto. GTA. So, you look at some of the big charges, but, even if a guy if he goes back and he pickpockets over and over again, well, there's got to be something that says this guy is beyond being able to be rehabilitated. He keeps on going out and he does the same thing over and over. Just keep him locked up.
Get a load of this. So apparently somebody from this guy's family member chimes in on the news report.
Right.
Okay, this guy's been convicted of multiple felonies, including attempted to elude law enforcement. Whoa, shocker.
Right.
Okay. Now this kid says this is his family member. I guess it's his dad. Everybody, this is his son commented on the guy who got arrested.
Gotcha.
Everybody has a past, but my dad is a good dad. He do, this is what verbatim, he do what he has to for his kids. She said, why did your attitude change toward my dad? Because you went and looked up his record and seen that he was a convicted felon.
Yeah.
They said the daughter is the person deputies say picked Rudolph up while he was on the run. I guess he picked his daughter up on him while he was on the run. She didn't know about the situation. until after she picked up her father and she saw his leg was shot. He was shot in the leg. So she's not being charged. But here we go. They're making excuses for a guy who's a career criminal. I think if you have, 2, 3, 4 charges or convictions or arrests, you're a career criminal. So they're going ahead and justifying, well, he's a good dad, but he nearly killed a cop, and he's got 15 other prior convictions of felonies. So now they're going to say,
yeah, there's got to be a limit. After 5 felony convictions, that's it. There's got to be like, there's you got to just draw a line. You're a repeat offender. You can't go back out into society.
Remember the 10-20 life? Okay. I don't even know if that's ever been enforced. I mean, it probably has. But, they said commit a crime or get caught with a gun, 10 years. Commit a crime, 20 years.
Or kill.
Yeah. Oh, no, if you you shoot somebody during a commission of a felony, it's life.
Right.
I don't even know if they even ever enforce that. It's crazy. Yeah. And then our juvenile system is a complete failure.
Yeah.
Because these kids are going out committing serious crimes. And I know this for a fact because I've seen the system. I'm not commenting on some things I don't know, but some things I can't. Don't hold me to the accuracy, but I'm just telling you. These kids can commit a spree of burglaries, and it just happened up in Titusville. They captured this kid.
Yeah.
Loads of burglaries. And actually the mom, it was on like one of the new Titusville Police Department's Facebook. They posted it. And the mom was saying, hey, if he's guilty, then he'll get his consequences or whatever, or have you. So it's like, I said, ain't nothing gonna happen to him. Don't worry about it. They get 21 days. Okay, you can be a 15-year-old kid and go out there and commit a shitload of robberies. Get 21 days. Then they have if you'll get your first appearance, and sometimes they'll request to be released and I get an ankle monitor. Now the normal kid, we get kids who go out there and do stupid shit. We had one kid that. He basically ran out in a football field during a football game, got arrested. The school resource officer arrested him.
Wow.
Poor kid went through the mill. They put him through pretrial intervention. He got the case dropped and everything because when you do that with a juvenile, it absorbs the case. But most of these kids, those good kids that commit a crime and make a mistake, they'll do the pretrial intervention because it's like a year. It takes them a year. They got to do all kinds of little shit and show up to this, do things. But
it's like probation.
It's not probation. But they have certain things to do, criteria. Right. And then after they finish all that, the case gets dropped. It's like it never happened. But then you have the ones who are offered that, and they go, no, I ain't doing it. Because they can't. Because they know they're going to get in trouble. So these kids will do, say they go in their first appearance, and they've had a few prior histories. They won't release them. Judge will say, no, I ain't letting them out. So then they got to go back in the juvenile detention center where they do nails for them. The kids, they have nails. They get their nails done. They get their hair done.
Yeah.
I'm not shitting you. Okay. So then they come back to court after their 21st day, and they get released because they can't hold them.
Right.
Under certain circumstances, they may, depending on the violent nature of the charge. But we're talking these kids are all doing like random shit, burglaries.
Petty stuff.
Then they can't have a trial like an adult can because you can't have a trial of your peers, right? What are you going to have, a bunch of 15, 16-year-old kids on a trial? A jury?
No.
So they have it's called a non-jury trial. So they have a jury in front of a judge, and the judge is the jury. And these kids rarely go to trial because they're only going to look at what they're going to get in a plea deal is probably the same they're going to get in a trial. The only no different, they might be found not guilty. But most of them, the cops usually get the right people most of the time. I'd say 99% of the time they have the right person that's in cuffs. And then they'll give them probation, okay, till their 18th birthday. So you'll get a 13-year-old kid or 14. They'll put him on probation for his 18th till his 18th birthday. They'll give him community service hours and shit. I'm telling you, I'm serious. If you don't believe me, go to the Vieira Courthouse. Go to the second floor, where they have the juvenile court. And it's the same kids and the same parents. The parents should be locked up.
Yeah, no kidding.
I don't know how they have a job because they're there every fucking day. I'm not kidding you. They're there every day. So these kids now, they get, or if they get released and they're pending a case and they're still pending the charge, they'll put them on an ankle monitor. Now the bad kids, they cut the fucking ankle monitor off every time. Cut it off. They're on the run. Okay. Then they bring them back and they charge them with a felony for tampering with a ankle monitor. So it's like, revolving door.
Yeah.
And I'd love to see the penalties become. They need to review it. They need to say, hey, these kids are getting violent. These juveniles, and they're the ones that are the regulars. They know the system. They know that it's easy street when they get in there. But as always, the road comes to an end when they start accumulating points.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So when they accumulate enough points and they screw up, they come bebopping in like, hey, give me my 21 days. And then the state attorney drops a boom on them and said, we're going to direct file as an adult. You're going to big boy jail.
Wow.
But when they're young and they're direct filed, they have a special jail cell for like youthful, like juvenile. They're in the big jail, but they're in a separate. They can't throw them with the big boys.
Right.
But there's kids in there for murder, rape. I mean, it's like never what you've seen before. Yeah. I encourage anybody, if anybody that has nothing to do during the day, go down there to the courthouse and watch any case, trials, juvenile cases, and you'll see, oh my God. And then you'll go home and kiss your kid and say, man, my kid don't pick up his clothes, or my kid don't make his bed, or my kid doesn't. You're going to say, look at these kids.
Mm-hmm.
And the parents, they blame this. My kid didn't do anything. It's like your kid's been here 15 times. Your kid's got to be doing something. Can't be every time they don't like them. So
yeah, not every kid is coming in through these doors.
No. So I encourage everybody, and it's free entertainment. Doesn't cost you a penny. Just you got to make it through the scanners at the courthouse. Don't bring anything. But go in there and watch these court cases. It's interesting as hell. If you have time, go in there and watch. It is just, I'm telling you right now, man, It is free entertainment.
Bring the popcorn.
You can't have food in there. But I'm telling you, there's murder trials, and you could sit in there, and it's just like you can watch. You see everything. You see the crime scene photos. It's free. People think, I can't go in. Yes, you can. Mm-hmm. You can go in there and just watch how the law system. Everybody should go in there and get educated.
But public domain.
But I do think that the juvenile system needs to start putting a hammer down a lot sooner, because these kids are being groomed to be career criminals, So, holy shit, we're already at the hour. So, hey, I want to thank those that joined. What's this? Oh, hell no, parents need an ass whooping. Well, yeah, they do. They sure as hell do. We need to bring back the paddling. You know, nowadays you can't paddle these kids. Call the cops on their parents. It's crazy.
Yeah, when you take away discipline at home and you leave it for the law enforcement to now have to be that parent figure to come and that's not how the roles are reversed.
Yep, it's
typically the cop brings the kid back home, knowing that kid is going to get a bigger ass whooping than the court system could ever.
Yeah,
but now it's reversed. Now the cops and teachers are supposed to babysit and discipline.
Yeah.
So it's a role reversal, and it's not working for anybody's benefit.
Well, it needs to be done, because these kids are getting a lot more violent, and they're committing violent crimes. And the juvenile courts, the laws need to be adjusted. Like everything needs to be looked over.
Right. After
so many years, it's like, all right. I mean, some states up north they can hold them for 90 days. They can only hold them here 21 days. 21 days. And then they cut them loose. Or for circumstances, they'll keep them. But usually they don't. They'll release them. And they'll put them on an ankle monitor or house arrest. But try to tell a 15-year-old kid, a 14-year-old kid not to do something anymore. Not a normal one. I'm talking about one who doesn't go to school. They know the world.
Yeah, they've already been on the street.
They're running away, chronic runaways.
Already with a bad crowd or a gang.
Yeah, man. So hopefully things will change, because it just takes the right person to be a victim.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When one of these kids they break into the wrong person's house, and their person's like, all right, and then they follow the case through,
right,
and they go, wow, nothing happened to the kid. It's amazing, man.
Or worse, a kid who has been a repeat offender, it's the odds that they're going to get away with it becomes very nil. And like you said, they carjacked the wrong guy with a pistol, and then it's a dead 15-year-old.
Yeah.
And now we're looking at the baby photos and how good, and everybody's crying. He was such a good kid.
Yep.
It's like, he already has a track record of not being a good kid.
Right.
But of course the defense attorneys and everybody else are going to, build up this case that he was so innocent, when it's not. And now you have a dead kid.
Yep. So I'm waiting for my little bit of a exit music.
Sure.
Where's my little low? It starts out low and it gets high. Hey, I want to thank everybody that joined in and everybody that's going to watch. I want to say hi to the ones that were on tonight. That's good. Thank you for joining live. I'll be on next week. I'm going to have a busy month with other things, but join me next week for another live show. Hopefully I'll have my co-host, AJ Hoobone, back on. He kind of missed out tonight. He didn't answer my text earlier. He's busy because he's working, so I understand. But I want to thank Jesse for joining me. Thanks, Jesse, for joining on my show. And
happy birthday and have a great 4th of July.
Yes, thank you very much. And I want to thank everybody again. So, Vinnie Marino Podcast, I'll see you next week. I think probably either Monday night or Wednesday. I will give you an update, maybe Wednesday. So, support our country, man. Come on. Stay together. Build a wall. And jails.
Yeah.
Peace out.